Hello and welcome to Talk with Jayo, where it's all about inspiring stories. We keep saying that Talk with Jayo, everyone is important, everyone has a story, and everyone's story is important. And again, this episode is coming to you from Kitale, Kenya. Kitale is in the western part of Kenya. It's my hometown, man. I love Kitale. Any day, anytime, I just pop in because I love Kitale. And my guest, what's also special about this is that my guest is also from Kitale. And not just from Kitale, but he's usually behind the scenes on our set. He's our DOP. Yeah, I know you've heard me say DOP so many times. It means Director of Photography, but he will explain it much more in detail. And he's none other than Ashuu Wambua, my man.
What's up, Jack?
What's good?
That's popping.
This feels so interesting. I'm used to seeing you,
behind.
Yeah.
So
So Ashuu is the one in charge of our set. He's our DOP, and Ashuu, man, thanks for the amazing work that you do on this show, and not just on this show, because we work together on many different projects. And I don't know how long we've worked now together.
it's interesting the way we met. It's funny because yesterday I had this revelation that before you meet someone personally, you've met spiritually. So Jack comes from Kitale, but before we met, I was from Kitale. There's this job that I had in Nairobi. My second job interview, because the first one failed because of my dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Now the second one I was referred by friend Tom. He has a cyber at Technical University of Kenya.
Yeah.
Took through George Odwor. So here I came. I was referred to Mushiri Johnson. I didn't know him. When I was given referral, I had this freak because now my previous interview failed because of my hairdo. So the second one, I was like, I'm not sure, but let me just go and try out. So Kush told me later he had also a fear of having me. So in the process, he asked you to interview me. Then through the talking, the interview, that was I think 2016 or I think around 2016 there.
Yeah.
So Jack, when Jack we were talking, things were coming out. Jack is from Kitale, I'm from Kitale. We used to play basketball. I used to play basketball it's called Kitale Technical.
Yeah.
Then on Saturdays they were allowing people from around to play basketball at the court, so it's all free. And here we are. I mean, how many years? I think since 2016.
Yeah, that's 5 years now.
Man, David Stone, 5 years.
Yeah.
Man, it's amazing. Man, thank you, Jack, for
Good stuff, man. So today, actually, we want to hear your story, man.
Okay.
We want to hear your story because we say everyone, you know the drill, man. Everyone's story is important, and everyone has a story to tell. So we'd like to hear your story. Where you're born, where you grew up, how was life, growing up until to the level now you got to, start media stuff. We want to hear that journey, and also want to hear your help people understand, what really goes on behind the scenes. Yeah,
I'll
because
try.
most people just see the end product,
Yeah.
but they don't know there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes.
There's a reason why I love behind the scenes.
Okay.
Because talking is not my thing. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to, when you're asking me a question, I'm like, what are you looking for in that question? So I'm kind of, I scan like many things. So through that,
Yeah.
a friend of mine told me, you usually overthink. That's why you don't get interview. You don't do well with interviews.
Ah.
That's why I love behind the scenes, like being behind the camera, whether I'm doing photography or video or
Yeah.
writing.
Yeah. But today you're in front of the camera.
My first
So,
time.
first question would be like if someone asked you, of course, I'd like you to introduce yourself in terms of your full name, and like how would you want to be introduced? How would you want people to know you?
I don't know. If I introduce myself, there's someone also always has a name for me before I even introduce myself.
Yeah.
In conjunction with maybe my hair, the way I look, or my work, or the way I talk.
Yeah.
But my national identity card's name read Joshua Kasiu Wambua, and Kasiu is my surname. So Ashuu was derived. I mean, many people didn't know Kasiu. They were like Kasu, they were like Kasu. So many questions came up. Is that a short form or
Yeah.
is that full? So in Form 2, the idea came. Form 2 first term. So the idea came of, since people are asking about Kasu, not Joshua, not Wambua. So interest came around that, so I decided to come up with a name.
Yeah.
And I came up with that name from nowhere, Ashuu. Later, Kendrezi came up with a song, Ashuu kwa Ashuu, Zinatiririka. So people thought maybe that name, I got it from that name.
Okay.
But that name is from my surname.
Okay.
I don't know. You can ask me that because
Yeah, I mean, you prefer. I mean, how would you want people to? How would you want people to know you? Yeah. How would you want them to know you as a DOP, or how would you want people to know you?
some people know me as a Christian, and I love it because all of the identity, I love them. Some people know me as a DOP. Some know me as cameraman.
Yeah.
Some know me as photographer. I mean, some know me as like homies or whatever, like now you. But most of them all, just like Moses when he was asked, what do you have? So I would love to be identified with Christian cinematography. I don't know if that answers, but
It does. It does. Okay.
Because now I don't know, our mother introduced us to church at early stage.
Yeah.
So that environment, at the beginning, it was hard adapting to going to church because I'm a free man. I love my things the way, even if I'm making mistake or what. But
Yeah.
our
You love
mother,
your freedom.
Yes, but our mother instilled that the thing of going to church Sundays.
Yeah.
And on Saturdays, when I grew up as a Catholic, there was this thing called dini. So where you're taught Christian ways.
Yeah.
When you're growing as a Catholic, they used to be they used to be on Saturdays, and it reached a point when I was in class, I think class 6. On Saturdays, school came with the policy of now from like upper classes, it was a must for them to go to school. But my mother went and talked to the administration and said, no, my children, there is a way you found them. Before you came up with that thing, there's a system they were following. So if they miss, if you find them not on Saturdays, don't ask questions.
Yeah.
They're in church.
Interesting.
So that's how I came up growing as a Christian. And it came, and I'm a Kamban, and the notion with Kambans,
Loyal people.
and witchcraft too.
Aha, I see. Yeah.
So with that thing, I didn't know when growing up there was that association of witchcraft and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, it didn't click. But when I was growing, I was like, is that the reason why our mother insists on church or what? But with time, you find something attaching to you, you create interest, something like that. And through that, our mother prophesied there's going to be media person in our family.
Wow.
That was when we were young.
Interesting.
She used to say that.
Interesting.
And one of my siblings usually reminds, usually say, our mother used to say, our mother used to prophesy, our mother. So you see, recently things are now like falling like in place.
Yeah, you're now connecting, joining the dots.
Cause after Form 4, it's fortunate, my mother was not there. But there's this culture when we were growing in Kitale, an escape plan. If you want to go club like overnight, it's called Rev.
Yeah, if you want to go to Makuti.
Yes.
Then Makuti was the.
Then Makuti
was the club, man.
So for you to go there,
Yeah.
and not be asked or bothered where you are, you had to go to Kesha. Now I'm a Catholic, so our Kesha was Catholic, whereby at midnight Kesha ends.
Yeah.
So where next? Because you have to go to Rev,
Yeah.
but you can't just go direct. So we go to Deliverance Church at Bondeni. So after Form 4, I don't know, things happen. So at Form 4, I remember when I was canning. I don't know if I'm still canning, but I used to be canning. So we dance. There's a competition and everything. Because Deliverance then, they used to have a system whereby they used to attract youths and teens.
Yeah.
So after now dancing,
Pastor Moses Wanyonyi.
yes,
Yeah.
I've never met him
Okay.
until that 2010, 2011 now. So Pastor Wanyonyi comes and say, after now dancing, and he says, who wants to give his life or her life to Christ? I don't know how I woke up. Friends were laughing at me. I was seeing them laughing at me. I was trying to stop myself from moving, but I couldn't. So I went. Pastor Wanyonyi prayed. When you're being born again, the process of being taken. Then he asked, what course do you want to do? I told him things to do with media, camera. So he prayed. I don't know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, things that were falling in place, because now I joined, my interest was to join the Technical University of Kenya.
Okay.
Then it was the Kenya Polytechnic University College.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was my interest, but I loved the school. Another reason for loving it was many of homies were coming from the Technical University of Kenya, and some of them were playing basketball, like the likes of Kina Nyangwe. I don't know.
I know Nyangwe.
Yeah.
Very tall guy. We used to play with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people like them, they when they are talking about like Nairobi life, the campus life, and you're here, you're with them, they're playing basketball, they're teaching you how to play basketball. So I was like, that's where I want to go, and it came.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Yeah, but before we get in even in how you went to school now, where and studied media stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know how was it growing up? Yeah. Were you born in Kitale, or did your parents move to Kitale? Like, I would like to know that story. And how was it growing up?
The most place that I can remember.
Yeah.
We grew partly in Limuru, but I don't have that memory.
Okay.
But after Limuru, we went to Nairobi, and we went to Mukuru Kayaba.
Okay.
Because that's where now my father, like pocket-wise,
Okay.
and that's where we could settle. Like, I think, I don't know.
All right.
So basically, I grew up partly in Purukayaba, Nairobi, up to class 2, third term.
Okay.
Then my father got a transfer to Kitale. You know, when you're applying jobs,
Yeah.
so he got a job in Kitale.
Okay.
So we had to move to Kitale. So I came to Kitale, you know, looking for schools here and there. I fell for a certain school. It's called Lohuna Primary School.
Okay.
It's down, but it's just within Nairobi, but outskirts,
Yeah.
Boondocks.
Yeah.
So that's where I spent my primary school.
Okay.
From class 2, third term.
Yeah.
Then I did my KCP. I was called. I went to St. Luke's Boys High School in Milili, in Bungoma.
Okay.
From Form 1 to Form 4.
All right.
Then from there, then I went to now the Technical University of Kenya.
Okay.
After the Technical University of Kenya, you know you are doing stuff here and there. My internship at KBC. Then I met you.
Yeah.
You welcomed me in this field. Then in the process, I got a scholarship at Philamujuani Academy, courtesy of KCV scholarship.
Okay.
There's that foundation of the Jiajiri Foundation.
Yeah.
So that's where I sharpened my skill in terms of cinema. Then you know when you get like, let's say, after school, or rather when you get an opportunity, most of my opportunities, more of learning has been like you have to learn fast because things are moving.
Yeah.
By the time you ask question, because the opportunity that I've gotten, it's like when you're working.
Yeah.
It's not a training program or something like that.
Yeah.
They're just job. So by the time someone realizes, because you see when you come from school,
Yeah.
that's theory and less of practicals.
Yeah.
And probably those who are even teaching you, some of them they are brushing or just reading. They come, read, then they give you to go and understand or something like that.
Yeah.
Because then, so when you're in the field, that's when I'm learning most, and it has not stopped.
Yeah.
It still continues.
Still an ongoing process.
It's still an ongoing process.
Yeah. You know, Ashuu, I know you have. We have worked together. You have worked with other different people on many different projects. I know you have worked on social projects. You know, like event weddings. You've covered so many corporate projects. Yeah. High-end, whatever, medium-sized, you've done so many, both in terms of, live stream and just doing coverage for both, private and public corporations. You have done TV shows, yeah, of course, including Tokyo, but you've also you've been on set for like major TV shows here in Kenya. Yeah. I think you can, if you're comfortable, you can mention some of the projects you've worked on.
Okay.
But I'm keen to know, out of all those different projects, which one excites you the more? Out of all, because you see, it's a whole range from events to documentaries to TV shows. Yeah. Which ones really excite you out of and which ones have you? Which one? If you can mention like which are some of the events or shows that have really excited you? Yeah.
So like wedding, I never knew that I'll be doing wedding. Yes. So when I joined you, you were into wedding, social events mostly like Rorashio wedding, birthdays, and I can't say that this one is the most like I can prefer this one to this one, or because different projects, they have different like experience.
Yeah.
Like for social events, it changed my mind because I never knew that like this interest of marriage. I never had the interest of marriage.
Okay.
Or even doing a wedding.
All right.
So when I joined you, there's a thing that was growing in me, the urge, the interest, the passion of apart from now covering other people's wedding, I'd love to do a wedding.
Yeah.
Because I love the entry. I mean, the whole thing, because marriage is different, like there are ups and downs or whatever.
Yeah.
But I love the entry, and it changed my mind.
Okay.
When you come to corporate again, you know, I told you I'm a free man and also kind. So with corporate, it gave me another different view of how the world operates. Because with corporate, there's a certain, like I can say standard. Yes. So you don't just come with your stuff or you the way you know because you're pro and stuff. And there are standards that you must fit in.
Yeah.
And they help in terms of even in terms of pitching, interacting with whoever. But growing up, I knew now from at the Technical University of Kenya, I knew I'll be a radio presenter.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Even class.
I didn't know you wanted to be a radio presenter, man. Never.
I even tried to come up with a show. It was called Versus.
Okay.
The show I tried to bring, it was about versus just like football.
Yeah.
So it can be either artist, let's say at the band versus Sauti Sol.
Okay.
Or it can be LeBron James versus.
When was this?
2013.
My goodness. Do you know there's a show? I don't know if you know the Versus.
I came across recently that show.
It's a big thing, and it started last year during COVID.
Man, I saw it
on IG TV live. It's called Versus.
You know, I saw it, I gave up. I remember there's one of our lecturers, Mr. Victor Buire.
Yeah.
He's at the Media Council of Kenya. He was even helping me, you know, formulate it, come up with a solid, like a good script to present it to a radio station where it can be taken. I mean, you know things happen in between lives and stuff.
Yeah.
So I gave up. Okay. So recently I saw Versus.
And it's big, man.
And it's big.
It's big. It's being sponsored by some alcohol company, I think called Syrup.
It's good to follow your
and you know it's really big, and it has a huge following. Yeah.
Recently I met Mr. Buire.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to bring the story because now when I saw it, I was demoralized. Because now it's big. If I come up with such stuff, I couldn't tell someone that no, this show I had this idea way back before them.
No, but it's okay, Ashuu. You know why? You know. I mean, it's okay because what I've learned, especially in our industry, is when you come up with an idea.
Yeah.
Is that 1,001 people thinking about the same idea.
But it's
so
fine.
usually the difference is who implements.
Yeah.
Who goes first.
But it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. And then the good thing is that how can I put it? There's room to do other things, and you're already even doing other things. So there's room.
So apart from now, when I was doing social events, you know, we at the beginning at Mushuri Films Kenya, we and Bamba Studios and Lois Events Managers, we didn't have like all the gear for production. So some of the gear we would hire from a friend. And that friend is called Paul Mogo. Many people know him as Mogo. So in the process of now creating the rapport network and stuff, he was calling me like there's a fill-up that is needed for a cameraman. Will you be available? Mm-hmm. Then I will talk to Kush of Mushuri Frames and ask him, because now he's my employer and I will not just leave like that. So I will ask him, Kush, there's an opportunity, it's 2 days.
Yeah, can I go?
Can I go?
Yeah.
And then Kush is a good man. He will say, it's fine, as long as I won't have backload, you can go. What you can do, try and minimize work so that when you are away, and when you come back, there's no much work to do. So you give me opportunities, and my first person to meet on set was, or rather, is DOP Benson Mugai Kamau. From there, now I got different view of now set. I said now I want to do. From there now the name DOP started coming out. I started cultivating that confidence of calling myself DOP.
Yeah.
And then after a while, cause now, with you know, the good thing with the people that I meet on set, they're so good in that when you are away and you phone for like a reference, or like when you're asking something, they're so willing to give out. So after that, now Benson got busy to, you know, with his stuff.
Yeah.
I came back with my social events, corporate, and then TV shows. We did even one in YouTube at Hope Center. It's called The Fix. It used to run on Hope Media, Hope TV. So in the process again, here and there, hustling. The same Paul Mugo. I was stressed one day. I don't know, stress or my spirit was disturbed. Came home, not knowing where I'm going. Then when my clarity came, it's Paul who is in front of me. And before I even say hi, Paul receives a call and tells me, Ashuu, there's an opportunity here. Call him. Where? At Moonbin Production of Lucy Mwangi and Eve D'Souza.
Yeah.
So from there, again, it's another
whole different
level,
experience.
a whole different experience.
Yeah.
I met amazing crew, from director Arnold Mwanjila to DOP Eric Gishanga, you know, to lighting, we call him Odimbe, and you know, because it's a different experience.
Yeah.
I had to tell Erico, this is where, I mean, I'm not getting. Yes, I know cinema.
Yeah, but they're all doing it now in a different scale.
Yes.
Yeah.
The terminology, yes, I'm trying to get, but because I was asking some, like, you will refer something, you know, like the English, there is US and UK.
Yeah.
So I'll ask this. So I ended up telling him, because I went there not as a trainee, but job opportunity.
Yeah.
So I told Eric, hey, no one like you.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You're working is way beyond.
Yeah.
I came here to work, but I found things different.
Yeah.
Bear with me. If I'll be a burden to you, just tell me, Ashuu, or go and tell the producer, Lucy, me, I'm not for Ashuu because of this and this.
Yeah.
But I told him from the beginning, but I'm willing. Whatever you will say, I'm willing, because I was his AC.
Yeah.
Eric told me, because you're my brother, I'll tell you this, learn as quick, as fast as you can. Because here, it's about like working, money and stuff, and pressure, and you know. So with that deal, I got confidence.
Yeah.
And I started learning fast. I acquired a lot. And even I remember even asking Eric, so what do I need, like, to be running such a set? I told him, believe in yourself and put God first.
Yeah.
And try and whatever set you get, try and do your best as you create your brand.
Good stuff. I love it, man. I'd like to take a break, and then we'll continue this story in part 2. But I like the lessons that you got there, you know, on that set with Moonbin. Put God first, believe in yourself, and try and learn as much as possible and as quick as possible. So whatever you're doing, whatever opportunity you have, try. Put God first, believe in yourself, and try learn as much as possible. You don't know what opportunity beckons. You don't know what opportunity is right ahead of you. This is Talk with J.O., and we're having an amazing conversation right here with Ashuu Wambua, one of the best DOPs, I say, this side of the Sahara. And we're shooting this man from our hometown, Kitale, at the Westside Hotel, the best restaurant, best getaway place. They have amazing accommodation and conference facilities. If you visit Kitale, man, you gotta visit Westside Hotel. We'll see you in part 2 of this amazing show.